like Tracy and Melanie can both attest to going on a trip where your whole hotel is paid for, and how there's no financial stress means your trip is actually phenomenally enjoyable. Like not only enjoyable, but you run the race for breast cancer and they're like handing out red roses and you're like, ha! And they're handing, what did they hand out last time? Like the breast check kits. And we're like, go get another one. Go get another one. We'll share them with our friends. Get all the roses. And it just feels really, really awesome that you're doing something for charity. You're doing good work and you are just so spoiled. Like the food, you are spoiled. The event, you are spoiled. The training, you are spoiled. And it's just, I never thought anything like this. I mean, I worked corporate for years and I would work my behind off for, I was in marketing and I would get like a $50 Starbucks gift card at the end of the year. And I'm like trying to be really grateful because, it's their money. And I was like, thank you so much. Or I'd get like, I think my most was like $100 for a whole year of working. So the fact that this company, like from basically the day you start, you have the opportunity to earn these extravagant things where people really, like the company really is just so generous and incredible is unlike anything because it's not based on anything except your work and your desire to work. That's it. Like it's open to anyone. It's not based on status or rank. Like this trip obviously is. But if I just go downhill in my business, I don't earn it again next year. So it's just really awesome that we have these opportunities. And I think it's so important to take them because you want to show people on your team that these things are available to them too, and that this is possible, and that working really hard and enjoying some things that are in luxury is actually really incredible. And feeling spoiled and doing something you never thought you would do with your money because it's extra. Like when you live in abundance, you're not worried that it's going to go away. When you live in abundance, you're worried that more, that more will come and that you can create more. So I would love for whoever's ready, let's go with Mel, to share a little bit about, we just got back from Gold Retreat. Tracy, have you been to Gold Retreat before? Did you come last year? Okay. So we want to make sure that all of you guys get to One Leaders Retreat, which is coming up, and Gold Retreat. And we wanted to share a little bit about why it's so important to not just be on these Zooms, but to like feel it in person, like what that does for your commitment to your health and to your growth and to your mindset. Just so anything you want to share would be great. Like what are some things that you learned because you were there last year?
Yeah, so a perspective of mine of like just kind of this being like a full year cycle of being able to do retreat or convention. Convention is amazing and the company pours into you, but it's overwhelming, right? It's like big, there's so many, and they do smaller breakout sessions and stuff. But then to be able to go to Gold Retreat and it's team and smaller, it just seems so like when you see someone, I say famous, like Brooke Hemingway, to me, when I first like would see her on the computer screen, she felt so famous and so big. But then for you to meet her in person and get a hug and it feels so real. Even Julia was like awe-inspiring, and meeting her for the first time in person was just so different. So yes, training on a computer screen or on your phone screen is awesome, but to be able to actually be face to face, and I hate to say it, like not that my family is ever a burden, but your time is not your own when you need to make meals and chauffeur here or there. When you're at something like this, not only do you feel poured into, but you feel ready to receive it because the distractions are not all around you. You barely even have to think about food. Like there was a few times, we just packed a lunch to go just to be able to be ready and grab a meal and go. But even to just know that there was food in the fridge and I didn't have to shop for it was a pleasure, let alone the training. And you cry, you laugh, the Plexus support system and family is, I don't know, like when you're new, if you just start to feel the seed planted and then it blooms when you do an in-person retreat, or you just are ready to receive it. But for me, the in-person, just like, it was more than a bloom. It was like a whole garden took off all at once. So that I would definitely recommend whenever, you know, you're able, whether it be financially, because I know like sometimes the biggest expense is just the plane ticket, right? So it was very minimal cost for me to be get trained for multiple days, have food and lodging for multiple days. I think it's $150 just to reserve your spot and to not like say you'll come and then forfeit it and no one else could come. And then it was a plane ticket. But to me, the investment as a business person and as a person that craves, that didn't even know I realized I needed self-development, and where you feel valued and worthy, and you just learn more of how to share that. Like we all have a gift, and people that we touch, it is not because Julia touched them. It's because I did. It's because Jessica, because Tracy. It's because you have your own voice and your own. And I think that was like one of the biggest things I took away. My people that I attract are my people. And yes, Julie might have awesome words to help them in dosage, or if they have a little detox, but they still want my voice and they want me to help support and coach them through all of this. And I think throughout the next couple weeks, we're just going to be like we got a whole folder and just taking, a couple pages at a time and like really sharing what we got out of it, because it was so valuable. So I don't know. I rambled. Sorry.
No, that's actually perfect. So you get a whole booklet. I mean, I didn't get the actual 50% booklet. They ran out. So I'm gonna have to buy my own. But it looks like this, and there's legit loads of training in here. And it's all broken down. So we want to make sure that we take some of these and help teach you guys, and to teach your teams, anybody on your teams that's sharing. We want to bring back these weekly calls where we help people and where we teach people and educate people and gather people together, whether it's to learn more about their health. And we're going to work on that this week, implementing a schedule where every week we talk about different things like water and health and exercise and mindset, and the things that the people that are taking the products can do. And then at the 30-minute length, stay on and discuss and break down some of the business tips that we learned and how that can help you guys in your business. And then we also talked about doing like a once a week, like IPA hour, whether Mel does one in the evenings and I do one weekday during the mornings, where you guys can actually get in and work with us and we can answer your questions and we can help you with your business. A lot of the things we learned about were goal setting, and goal setting applies to all areas of life, not just your business. Goal setting with your health, goal setting with your finances, goal setting with your goals in life. Like, what do you want to accomplish in this life, and what do you want your life to look like? And you understand that you are in control of that. So you can either be like, well, that's not for me, but that's great for those people, but that's not me. Or can you learn to work on self-development and say, it could be me if I did blank, blank, and blank. And I remember watching Tracy come to an event and just that like fierce determination in her face of like, this is different. I like how I feel here. I want more of this. And that's kind of what I love about the in-person events, is that there's something tangible that you may have never felt in your life. And this is from somebody who like went to church every month. Like, there's something different when people are filled with a purpose and passion, and they're really open to receiving and non-judgmental. So anyways, I would love for Gwen to share any tidbits that she learned as well. Maybe just like her first reaction to being in a whole group of people she didn't know. Because that was a lot. She knew like me and Sierra. Luckily we all roomed together. You have to unmute. Hit your mute button.
So I walked in and I was just overwhelmed. Sierra and Julia weren't even there. So I'm walking in, but I did walk in with Mel, thank goodness. And I was just swept up. I was just like, oh, hi, we're so glad you're here. And then Brooke came up to me and she actually helped me get my suitcase up the stairs. And I thought, no, Brooke, I can do this. But it was just so giving. It was like everyone there was there to give, to give, to give to everyone, and including me. And I felt like I'm the oldest, probably the oldest one there, I'm guessing, thinking, but I felt like the baby because I felt like I knew the least. But that didn't matter. And just everyone was so accepting. I think so generous with themselves. Like if you wanted to go and talk to someone, you just go and sit down and start talking to them. And they were happy to get to know you. And everyone had a story to share, which was awesome because those really fill you up. Everyone's stories of their plexus stories or their family. And, we had some really heartfelt, difficult stories from people that it was just amazing that what they've gone through. And they shared that with us. So I think to me the biggest thing was connection, like feeling like I'm not just seeing these people on a screen anymore. I can just hug Mel because she was, it was like I still feel that lovely connection that we had together, and so it'll never be the same. Going to another event will never be quite the same because there'll be people there that I talked to and I got to know, and I can feel like, oh, I already know you. I can come in. I don't have to feel this because I'm kind of an introvert a little bit, but I didn't really feel that there. I felt like I could already talk to them, but next time we'd be like, oh, yeah, we went and had lunch together at the airport. It was so fun. So just things like that are so important for me. And that feeling of belonging and people accepting each other for their differences. And, we're all so different, and different religions, different backgrounds, just different. But there was something that connected us. And I think it was our passion and for helping people and for serving people. So anyway, I loved it. Go. Go next time.
Thank you. I also think when people are vulnerable, and you have to have some vulnerability here when you share your health story, right? You have to have vulnerability when you're sharing online, when you're saying what you're hopeful for, what you have been struggling with your health, and you have to be vulnerable to some extent to do this well. You have to actually be yourself and share some parts of you, and that can be really scary. But when people do that, it connects people. You don't know people on a like, hi, I love to shop, and like nobody is putting on this like cover of something because they're like there to be cute or fancy. You know what I mean? They're just there to be. And that makes, go ahead, Gwen.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the last night we had a campfire, a few of us were there, and Julia was kind of in charge, and I sat there and went, why am I here? Why did I come to the campfire? It's gonna make me talk. And she did. And she said, Gwen, will you share your story? And I was like, okay. Because it's just not my thing to stand up and extemporaneously speak. And Julia knows that, but she needed me to come out, right? You wanted me to share, and you wanted me to, I think you felt like you wanted me to do that. And what was interesting, I didn't think I did a very good job at all, but the next day I had all these people come up to me and they said, oh, I'm so glad you shared last night, because next year I want my mom to come. And I thought, okay. Okay, so I felt like I had something to contribute, even if that was it. If that was all I contributed, that was a special connection that I had with those people. So anyway, that was it.
There was like 5 or 6 people that said that to me. That's her mom? I want my mom to come. Oh, my mom would love this. I'm going to show her like Gwen's story, and I'm going to tell my mom she's got to do this with me. But I love that you shared your story, because it's one of those things, like I violently hated public speaking before all of this. I would get severe panic attacks and anxiety attacks every time I had to speak at church, and I avoided it. I avoided testimony meeting like the plague. I probably shared my testimony, like we do this thing once a month for Fast Sunday at our church, and I maybe did it once a year, because things that are sensitive to my heart, I have a really hard time. I always cry. So I had a really hard time just like being that vulnerable in front of people with something that was really sacred and special to me. And I've had to work through a lot of that with Plexus. If anyone was around, like maybe Melanie, the first year, I probably cried every single time I told my story. Every single time at some point I talk about adoption. Jan was like deployed for a year. So I was like just a mess of like emotions. And Tracy's a crier. I'm a crier. Like we'll go there. But it's really hard, but I know that above my like emotional whatever, that telling your story connects people, and it helps people feel like they're not alone, and it helps people see themselves in your story. So whatever your story is, whether it's your business or your health story, people need to see that part of you. And when you come to an event like this, because everybody's sharing, you get to know people on a whole different level. And every single time I hear people's stories, I immediately think, I like them. I like them. I like them. People that I'm like, who is that person? I can't quite figure them out. Give me 30 seconds to hear their story. And I'm like, okay, you're legit. Like, I can trust you and I can get to know you because you've gone to that level with me. And then from there, you build relationships. And then you don't just say, my friend Tracy does Plexus. You're like, my friend Tracy, and you own that friendship. And then you see them in convention and you hug them and you create these incredible relationships, which then over time will turn to like, hey, we're at like the same rank. Let's set a goal together. Or, hey, I've been watching you do this. You start having this whole team of like cheerleaders around you. And that's what our team is. It's like an entire staff of cheerleading people that want to see you operate at your best and genuinely are so happy. Like people that prayed for me and fasted for me to get Emerald that I have no like financial connection with. And I look at this trip that I'm taking in the fall, and I look at this trip here, and that was because of all of you guys. And I just think the second you hit these things, your immediate reaction, which is not in the business world, is, now how can I help everyone else do that too? So I just hit Leaders Retreat, and my first response is one, me and Jan. That's amazing. I'm so happy. Next, who's next? And that's something that's really unique. It's not like, I won. And you're like gloating and you're winning. You're like, I won. Step two, who else is going to win with me? Like your biggest goal in life is to gather your friends so that you can win together, because that to me is like the best winning. So if I could have all of you guys there and anyone else you want there at Leaders Retreat, that's what I want. And I want you guys there at every Gold Retreat. I want you to fight to get there, fight to find childcare, fight to find time for yourself to grow and develop, because it's so crucial that you work on this part up here and that you feel it, right? Because something will change in you and you'll be like, okay, I've never felt that. How do I get back? And that's what it did for me. Sierra, will you share a little bit as you're folding laundry?
Yes, if you could see my laundry, you would know why I'm doing this right now. This is what I get to come home to. And my son's birthday is today, so I'm just trying to get it all in. Leaders Retreat is the best. I super happy. Hold on, hold on. Oops. Hold on. Probably the best thing is to be able to go the day early. I thought, oh, this is going to be so long. Like, I am like such a quick, I like quick vacations. I don't like to draw it out. I like to be home and doing, all the mundane tasks and get them all done. But I am really grateful I got to go a day early, just because I got to see all the leaders at a different level. Everyone shared, and then everyone else came the next day. So if I didn't have that day, I wouldn't have got to know them, because by then everyone was with their individual teams. So that was really cool. And I mean, every day was just filled with, getting to know new people, and then all the training. It was just like, there's so much training that you're like, okay, I couldn't have done this. I would have taken like a month to get all that training in, So that was awesome. Now I feel like I go back to the thread, and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. So I appreciate them more. And now I know who has what story. So like I totally know who to go to for fibromyalgia and who to like ask a question to, who for weight loss, or who had depression or whatever. So just it gives you a whole like slew of more resources to be able to go to. And they probably would take time to answer my question because they know who I am. And maybe they would come to me for something too. So that was awesome. And then I have a picture with almost everybody. So there's like 40 more posts that I get to say, this is my friend and this is her story. So having that is awesome. What else did I write down? Yeah, those are all the things I wrote down. But yeah, I am a total introvert. I don't really like big groups. So, and I felt really like welcome, just like my mom said, just like cared for. We were totally spoiled in the best room of the house. So that was amazing. And they just, yeah, it was just so nice. Everyone is so nice. Like you wouldn't have to worry about like would I fit in? Like everyone fits in somewhere. So that was amazing. Totally loved it. I don't know where I'm looking here. Hold on. So there we go. So yeah, I'm grateful I got to go. I'm excited for the leaders retreat and want to hit the Puerto Rico and all that. So
Thank you for sharing that. So they shared a book that I have not read yet, but it's on my list, from Brene Brown, called Braving the Wilderness. And they talked, I forget what day it was, but they talked about belonging. And I know that belonging is something that from the time we were little, right, you want to belong. You want to show up at elementary school. You want to have like a friend group. Like the fact that you're sitting on the bench sucks. You want like, you know, there's all like so many stories about like getting picked last for the team of whatever tag, or was that one where you like hold hands and you Red Rover and you know that one, right? And no one wants to get picked last for that one. Like, okay, so I'm going to pick, and you're like, me. Or like you get picked first because it's like your friend's the chooser, right? And then otherwise you don't get picked at all. And it's natural in life to want to belong. It's why a lot of people like join a religion, or they join a group, or they join, you know, they want to belong somewhere. You want to belong in your family. But they talked a lot about belonging. I don't know why can you guys hear that weird boing? I don't know if that's my phone or what. But she said, once you realize belonging is actually where you belong nowhere, but actually everywhere. And I really love that, because when it comes to belonging, to really belong means that you're so secure in who you are and where your purpose is, that you do belong everywhere, that you create the belonging. That belonging isn't like that you walked in and luckily you got chosen or you fit into a group, because you're going to go through your experiences in life and you're going to wonder like, where do I fit or where do I go? But if you are secure in your purpose and what your purpose is in life, you'll actually realize with confidence that you belong everywhere, and that any group that you walk into, you can find a place of belonging. And I think that something that's really unique about what we do is that when you work through your health and you work through your life and you set these like crazy goals and you achieve them, and you fight for your health and you fight for your family and you fight for your finances, you create a different path that's unique amongst most of the people in your life. And when you find more of those people, that is where you belong. And I think that's the biggest thing I noticed. Like they will joke, you know, they even said like, well, I did this, but I'm kind of crazy, right? Brooke will say that. And Emily's like, yeah, I did that in a year. I'm a little bit crazy. And I'm like, I want to hang out with crazy, right? You see them and you're like, I went diamond in a year. I'll hang out with that kind of crazy. Like I can do that. Or people that are literally changing things for children. And, you know, Brooke will say, it's not about getting to diamond for the money. It's about getting there, because by getting there and by being on a stage, you will have influence. You'll have influence over not only your massive team, but over thousands of people in a company, to then use your heart and head to do anything you want in life. And that is actual belonging. Not that you're like a leader or you're the most popular or like you won the money. but that you now have the ability to guide and direct and influence good causes and good things in life, and to help people see value in them, and to help people see their worth. I would love for Tracy really quick just to share her experience with worth, because she got by going to Brooke's Align retreat. Again, Brooke, in a non-COVID season, started Align last August, and then made it more accessible for people on a cheaper level, which wasn't cheap. It was like $500 plus hotel. But what she did do, which I think is incredible of her in general, is that she asked people from our team if they could come help. And if they could come help register people, she would discount their hotel, or maybe you guys split it. I forget how it worked. And she gave tickets for like 150. So people would help register people and help her pass out books, do some of the work. Then they could sit in and attend all of the speakers, all of the events. And so we're able to hear Tiffany Peterson, who's on the 21-day, 3-week group that spoke this morning live. And I love Tracy's experience. I'll probably talk about this for the next 20 years, because as soon as it happened, I just remember getting a download of, this is why you're here. This is why you're here. This is why you started sharing. And there's going to be more, but this is one, and this is why.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll probably cry. I'm already starting to cry. So, and when you guys were talking about going to any Plexus event where there's other Plexus people, you have things happen to your heart and soul that it almost is unreal. It's like one of those things where you have to be there, because otherwise people are going to go, yeah, right. But it's true. They pour into you, you pour into them, and it's the most amazing experience I've ever had. That's why I will never leave. If I never get anywhere in life, except for where I'm at right now, I will never leave this company because of the people and what they've done for my heart, my soul. And I actually come back from Align and had somebody tell me that my aura was different, and that I carried myself different, and that I was different. So that being said, so Tiffany Peterson, who I think is amazing, and I've already listened to her live twice today, and I'll probably listen to it again tomorrow. And I've been listening to her podcasts, who's this just amazing person and amazing speaker and leader and coach. But she's also goes with her gut. And like, so if she feels, if spirit leads her to talk about something else, she'll veer off of the course to address that, because she knows it's something that someone's heart needs in the audience. So she was writing on her board, and one of the things that she said, she wrote up there about your worth. And she was talking about that. And she said, she turned around and she said, no matter what you think about your worth, or no matter what you think about yourself, your worth is eternal. And no one had ever told me that. And I'd always had been told that I was worthless. My own parents told me I was worthless, that I'd never be anything, and they would say things like I was mean and I was hateful. And I grew up thinking I was less than everybody else. That was kind of like the assumption in our family, that we collectively were not as good as everyone else. So when she said, your worth, it's eternal. It doesn't matter what any one of us self-esteem wise think about ourselves, shame, anything, past mistakes, what we look like, where we're at, whatever. None of that matters, because your worth is eternal. You are worthy. And so that hit me. And then I started to cry a little bit. And she said, I feel led to lead this meditation. So she led a meditation, and she calls it her heart meditation. And she, throughout, you know, she gets you in a relaxed place, and then she has you share a mantra, and you talk about, I'm worthy, I'm successful, you know, I'm smoking hot. I can't even remember everything right now, but I have it written down on a card, and I say it every morning. And as she did that, and all of that was inside my heart for all those years, that kind of held me back, because I didn't think I deserved things, because I didn't think I was worthy of it. It came out, and I started to cry, and my whole body shook, and people were like turning and staring, because I'm in the back and people can hear me sobbing, and they're kind of turning around and they're kind of looking. And we were told, as part of the team that's helping people, if you see anybody that gets overwhelmed emotionally, you know, go over there and help them out and hug them and maybe take them outside and talk to them. And I'm like, great, I'm the one that needs the help, because I'm just crying and crying and crying, because never in my life had anyone told me that. And I told her, I said, I have to tell you that you said that and what that meant to me. And from that point on, anybody that I get a chance to tell them that they're worthy, I tell them, you know what, you are worthy. No matter what we believe about ourselves, our thoughts, they're not true. Our emotions, they're not true. Our worth, it's eternal, you know, and we all have a purpose here. And it was probably one of the most spectacular things that I learned. And just that whole experience, I had so many women. In fact, I was just looking at them today, ironically. They wrote me all these notes, because I shared the next day about, you know, what happened. Because she asked, hey, let's talk about yesterday. Did anybody have anything they want to share? And unlike everyone else, I love to talk and have everyone looking at me. So I'm like, ta-da, put me on stage. So I shared, and I got all these beautiful, beautiful notes from women I never met before and may or may not ever see again, because they were from all different teams, not just our team. And they wrote me these letters of encouragement. And it was beautiful. And I take them out all the time, and I look at them, and it just reinforces and makes me feel really good inside, and that I am worthy of success. I am worthy of happiness, you know, and all of those things. And so, yeah, I'm all in for any kind of retreat I can get to, because you just need it, you know. It's a hard world out here. And so they'll put the love back in your heart, all our Plexus peeps. So
Thank you. I love exactly what you said. They'll put the love back in. There's going to be times in your life where your life is really hard. Things totally outside Plexus, things within Plexus, like things are going to be hard. When you have something in your path that forces you to like put positivity in, it makes such a huge difference. When like our job consists of like making lists of gratitude and focusing on self-development and moving your body and forgiveness and positive affirmations, it makes such a huge difference to get through really huge things in life, because every day is not about you. So we're going to make this last part kind of short tonight, and we'll have kind of a better plan next week. But I wanted to just start with, I loved Phyllis and how she talked about being clear on why you're here, and not here in Plexus, but like here on the earth. Like, why are you here? And so she said, what were you put on this earth to do? So if you guys haven't filled that out from the retreat, or you guys weren't there, I would love for you to put that down and work on that this week. What were you put on this earth to do? And then second to that is, what's the why behind everything you do? So she says, like, what is my energy every day? Like, what kind of energy am I putting out to get back what I want? And be really clear, because without knowing why you're here and what you're supposed to do, and that may change and evolve. Like, you could be like, in the beginning, maybe I was like, okay, I was here and here's my path to adoption. And then like the day we adopted, my brain had to be like, what next? What next? Right? Because my whole focus with Plexus was like, we're going to adopt and this is going to help us adopt. And we're going to do this huge thing and we're all going to go to China. And like, this is my dream. And then you hit the dream and that can't be it. Right? Like if you're at a place where you're like, I just need $500 a month and you're like, now I've got it. Like, that's not the end, right? That's just a step. That's a step on like gratitude and movement, but then you have to have what's next and what your long-term plan is. And so she wrote, well, part of her thing, I think I wrote her thing down, is to use my creativity and enthusiasm to support and inspire others to express their talents in a harmonious and loving way. And I just, some of the things that I randomly wrote down, I can share with you, but I need to kind of hone it down more. So I'm going to work on that with you this week too. I wrote to bless others, to create an impact, to create an army of women who are showing up to do more good as they are spirit led, to step into my excellence, to make an extraordinary contribution to the world. And then what's the why behind everything you do? The only thing I had wrote down, like just in the moment, was I made a promise with God to show up and be his hands here on earth. Because I genuinely believe that. Like if you're a God person, I genuinely believe that at some point before we came to earth, God was like, just so you know, I'm going to give you this thing. And if you do the thing, you're going to be able to do all these things I need you to do, but you have to do the thing. And I'm like, totally. And then I got here and I'm like, what? This thing? Like this network marketing thing? But it's so funny because if you use this tool as a path, like it's exactly what God would want you to do. Like if you can financially take care of your family, like he wants us to live in health. He wants us to live in abundance. He wants us to live in peace and joy with our marriages, with our spouses, with our neighbors, to be able to say yes to service. That when someone down the street is like, I'm struggling, that you can say, I can help you. I have the resources. I can help you. Not, I need help. I need help. I need help. That may happen at different points in life, but you can create something within your family and in your life where you can then have the influence and the inspiration to help bless a lot of other people. And you're not doing it alone. That's why network marketing is so amazing, because I never would have met Tracy without Melanie, and I never would have met Melanie without Shauna. And it's not just people that I know. It's like the people they know, the people they know, the people they know. And once you reach a level of leadership, all it's showing is that if you fight to lead, that you will have the resources to follow it. And you will be able to say, this person on my team is struggling. How can I help them? Or this person in my community is struggling, or this organization could use my help. What can I do? And you will have the resources to be able to do that. You will have the resources, all of us, me, Tracy, Mel, when something in our family has like gone to crap, or like a tire's blown out and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you for my Plexus money, right? When COVID hit, I did not panic that we didn't have enough money for food. I panicked that there wasn't enough food for me, right? But I didn't panic that I didn't have enough money to pay for the food. Because even if I used all my Plexus money, it was abundance from me not even trying to do Plexus or not working. So if you think of your money in abundance and you think of what you can create in abundance and not scarcity, you can literally step back and think, what was I put on earth to do for me, for my family, and for other people? And if you can hone that down, that will get you up every morning to do what you're doing. That will help you work harder, work smarter, and the money will always follow. But why are you doing what you're doing? And why were you led here? Like of all the things in the world, like skincare, all the different supplements, all the different network marketing, all the job opportunities in the world, why were you led here? And what are you going to do with it? And you have to think about that, because I had an experience personally where I had a confirmation that I knew Brooke before this, and that she said, one day I'm going to have something that will help you. And I just said, okay. And I firmly believe that. I believe that we're sent here and that we made a promise to people, that I made a promise to Tracy however many years ago. And I said, hey, one day I'm going to find you and I'll have something that you need. And I believe that we did that with a ton of people. And we were given that responsibility because God needed us to show up in who we are and to develop and grow so that we can help other people. And he will grab all the people and create an army of people that are going to do a tremendous amount of good, because there's plenty of other people that are not doing good, right? There's plenty of men that are not good with their money. There's plenty of politicians. There's plenty of grumpy, angry people in the world. We can change that. We can change that by like adding good, and gathering an army of good people to do really good work, to bless our families, to bless our nations, to bless our communities. So why were you put here? Why was this path given to you? And what are you going to do with it? Because I promise it is unlike anything you will ever know and ever expected. And you'll be sitting there in gratitude of like, why was I given this? And if I'm in such gratitude for the changes in my health and my life, I have to pass it forward. Tracy's done that in things in her life where she's like, I have to pass it forward because someone did that to me. So she invited Kelly, a girl to Leaders Retreat that did not earn it, to pass it forward, because you can. There's opportunities in your life where you can help bless other people and gift them an incredible experience or incredible anything. And it's what makes our team so unique and special, because our first thought is, who can I help? Right, Trace? And that's not like the natural man thought. The natural man is like, party, like extra big bed to myself. No, your first thought is like, oh my gosh, who can I help? Who can I help get here? So my goal for you guys is, how can I help you get to Leaders Retreat? How can I help you get to a place where you can feel this, where you can sit in it, where you can walk or run the 5K with us? I mean, Jan will run that whole thing, and then he looped back to come get me because he's a crazy runner and mentally motivated. I thought I was dying, but Tracy did, Mel did it, and we do hard things together, and that's what's really incredible. So I want to help you guys earn this with flying colors. And if you want to go all in and earn all the extra stuff, like this is basically cash and opportunities on a table, and the only thing that's stopping you from earning it is what's up here. So you have to create the time, you have to do the work, and then you can sit in a place that you earned, which will feel really awesome, in a hotel that's completely covered and paid for, with a lot of the food covered and paid for, and you will just sit in gratitude and be like, how is this my life? And I want that for you, because that's not normal for people, right? That's not normal for me. I've been to so many military things where we're like in a giant warehouse, like eating fried chicken, and like everyone's brought different things and we're on paper plates. Like we're not in a space work-wise where we're getting like, you know, white banquet dinners and white tablecloths. Like there actually are no tablecloths. I think they're plastic. So being able to do this thing with my husband was really, really incredible and life-changing. And I want more of it. I want more of that because our marriage needs it, and because I like it. So,
well, and not to mention partying on an aircraft carrier was pretty stinking cool. Like, who gets to do that? Really?
Go all out. They had a live band. They had fireworks. They rented this USS military ship for Plexus. They had this thing that you got in and they closed the thing and it was a flight simulator. And what I didn't realize is that people could hear my screaming outside. So I thought I was just screaming to myself until my friends videoed it. And I was like, that's real funny. So Jan's like, yeah, want to do it with me? I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, that was not fun, but it was funny. It was really incredible. And like so much food, Tracy, right? So much food. Like every ethnicity of like incredible food and entertainment, and they just go all out. So Leaders Retreat is something you want to earn. Hopefully, you know, it's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona. We'll take a trip as a team to corporate, and you'll get to see corporate and what it looks like and how it feels. And they're incredible. The company is really incredible. They're so generous, and their motto is, when you are blessed, be a blessing. And that's how our team is run. And so our goal this fall is just to explode our team and to help bless other people. But we need you to do it. It's not me, it's you. So you have to decide that you can do this and that your people in your life need your voice. They need your story, they need your voice, they need the way that you share, because that's what's going to connect with them. And they need your boldness and your courage, because that's the only way that I heard about Plexus was because Brooke posted on Facebook consistently. That's it. And I didn't know her before Plexus, and she just completely changed the course of our life. So I know that you guys have the abilities to do that for other people with this vehicle. So I'm gonna let you go, but we're gonna continue these things weekly. They won't all be this long, or we'll try to focus on like some type of a health benefit in the beginning. Like, let's talk about inflammation and ease, so some of your people can come learn. And then we can do like 30 minutes of training of the things that we learned, because we wanna gift you guys that training that we learned, and we'll break it up and talk about like coaching people and silvers and how to do your IPA. And we're going to set some goals together, and we're going to check in and have some accountability so that we can help you guys grow and become who you are created to be. Okay. Does anyone have anything to share? Anything else? Any other tidbits? Lavelle? Lavelle? You still there? Jessica, are you going to go for the leaders retreat? Have we freaked you out?
I'm trying. I'm trying to.
Okay, do you have a map? You have the map that I mapped with you. Have we mapped out leaders retreat, like the points for leaders retreat? Okay.
On the wall, behind my bed.
Okay, who are you going to take?
I don't know.
Okay, I want you to think about it this week.
Okay.
Who you're going to take and how it's going to feel. To show up and have them hand you a key card and say your room is on the 2nd floor, number this, and you didn't pay a dime for the hotel.
That would be awesome.
Okay, you have to envision it and you have to feel it so you know what you're working for. Tracy, who are you going to bring?
I'll have to think about that. I'm
If you're not
thinking,
sure, Jessica can split a room and save some money too.
yeah,
Another option, Jessica. They'll say
do
like,
that.
they'll say if you split a room, you each get 150 in savings or something. So that's an option. Or you can bring whoever.
Yeah, I have to think about that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Think about who you would want to bring and how that would feel. To be like, look what I did for us.
That's fun.
It's fun to bless people you love.
Well, and I got blessed. That's how I got to go to convention. Somebody paid it forward to me. Said I can't go, take my spot. So it's nice to do that. It's nice to have it done for you too, I have to say. But it's definitely nice to do that.
Yep. Okay.
It's like being Oprah. You get to call up and go, or Ellen, hey, do you think you want to go to Leaders Retreat with me?
Yep.
The best.
The more you lead, the more you have influence, the more you can do good for people you love. That's it. The more you get to fight and advocate for people that are showing up in life. And that part's really fun. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you.